Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Blonde Café Podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Villanueva, and I'm your 29-year-old millennial gal out here living my best life. And I'm here to help give you the tips, tricks, and tools to live your best life. And today we are back, baby. And I hope that this quality is coming out okay because if you're watching on video, I am recording from my laptop instead. We're having some technical difficulties that I can't quite figure out, which is partially the reason why this episode is late. But also the reason why this episode is late is because I have been traveling here, there, and everywhere. And if you know me, you know that sometimes I can get bogged down in like that day to day, that hustle culture, that daily grind. And this has been the best thing to shake up my routine. Some of the circumstances were not great. Some of the circumstances were awesome. So I've been everywhere from funerals to weddings to bachelorette parties to running 15 miles in the woods in the Appalachian Mountains. So it's been quite the journey. It's been quite the, I guess, like variety of activities, you could say. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Minus the funerals, obviously. We don't love losing loved ones. But overall, it has given me such a fresh perspective being away. And it's really given me a view of the outside looking in. So that's what today's episode is all about, to encourage you to take a minute, whether it's literally a couple minutes, whether it's a day or maybe a weekend or even a week, if you can try to do it, take a step back from your life and it will change your perspective. I guarantee you. It might change your perspective on the people around you and how you spend your energy and how you spend your time. It might change your perspective on, your daily routine. Maybe you don't love getting up and going lifting anymore like you once did. Or maybe you all of a sudden have become a runner for some reason and you're like, I don't know, my siblings talked me into this, but now I actually kind of like it. And here I am. Or maybe it's something like you realize all of these material knickknacks in your life, you actually like are cluttered and you feel stifled and you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't need half of this stuff. Maybe you want to do a complete declutter and reorganization of your house. There's a spring reset series episode that I did back in like April or March, I think. If you haven't seen that. So go check it out if you're in the mood to declutter and reorganize. It's the jam. But it really, really changes your perspective when you get out of your normal routine. And I'm talking like if you can do it just as small as, going to a different coffee shop that morning, or say you only have like one coffee shop on your way to work, but you get the same thing every day, maybe you get something different. And then maybe you try a new sport or try a new activity. And if worst case scenario, you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. Nobody is forcing your hand. Yes, it might cost some money if you want to sign up for a class here and there, but you're changing your daily routine and you're changing those brainwave patterns. Like it's literally a scientific fact, y'all, that your brain gets stuck in these repetitive cycles. And the more you reinforce those cycles, the harder it is to get out of them. Just like people always say, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks because their brain has already formed those brainwaves. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not, a professional psychologist by any sort of means, but that's what we're all about here at the Blonde Café Podcast. We're chatting like we're besties. We're hanging out. We are giving each other life advice, whether it's good, bad, ugly, something you don't want to hear, or maybe it prompts something in the back of your mind and you're like, yeah, you know what? Hell yeah. I've been wanting to take a vacation, even if I can't go anywhere. Maybe I do like a staycation. Or maybe you do a staycation quite literally in your house. Like that is the easiest, cheapest, fastest, quickest way to do it, is do a staycation by yourself at your house. And if you have to kick out your spouse, don't maybe kick them out for the night, but say, hey, I think I want, the room to myself tonight and I want to do a spa night and watch my favorite girly movies and paint my nails or whatever. And then he can go watch football in the living room, or he can go out with his friends or whatever that looks like to him. Maybe you take a bike ride. Maybe you borrow a bike from a friend, or you go get a bike, or maybe you have one and it's collecting dust in your garage. and you go out and you take a bike ride just to do something different, try something new. Maybe you try a new recipe. If you've been wanting to cook, try something new like that. Or if you have people in your life that truly, truly light you up and you are talking like deep belly laughs, like smiles that make your cheeks freaking hurt. Maybe you call that person or text them or send them a video. Just let them know you're thinking about them and allow them to come back into your life, because I know it's hard, guys. Like I've lived away for almost 8 years now, which is crazy to think about, but it's been almost 8 years that I've moved since Ohio. And I've left all of my friends and family there. I mean, granted, now I have friends here and everything. And I have my husband's family, my new family in California. But all of like my native OG friends and family are still in Ohio. And I miss them. I miss the hell out of them. And I didn't quite realize how much I miss them until I spent so much time with them over the past few weeks. And it always kind of hits me like that. It always has ever since I've moved. It's like that thing that, I love my life by the beach. I love my life here in Virginia Beach. And I love the people in it. But it's one of those things that you can't replace like what it feels like to be home. You can't replace what it feels like to laugh until your cheeks hurt and be around those people that you don't even have to say anything and you just know that you're on the same wavelength. You don't have to, pretend to be a certain way, or you don't have to hold back who you are or anything like that. It's just so natural because you've known these people your whole entire life. And that is truly something that I soaked up over the past couple months. And it's not even like I'm out here like, pretending to be something that I'm not or anything like that. But there is something to say that the people that get you, they just get you. Like I said, you don't even have to pretend to explain anything. You don't even have to like give a reason why or what or where. They just automatically understand. um so shout out to everybody that I've spent time with over the past couple weeks, because you truly truly have made me so freaking happy. And I'm so rejuvenated to get back here in Virginia and really kind of like deep dive what I'm loving and what I'm not loving. So, for instance, if you're watching on video, you can see that we are updating the bookcase behind me. It is still not done yet, so don't hate on it. But I'm updating. I am simplifying. I'm getting rid of all of these miscellaneous things that truly don't mean anything to my life. And that aren't my favorite things. And that honestly goes for clothes too. Like these past couple months, I've only been packing my favorite items because I've, had to only pack certain items. Like you can't take 500 suitcases with you whenever you go on a trip. um, and granted, like it's summertime, so I'm not throwing out all of my winter stuff, but I'm really taking this time to take inventory. I'm taking inventory on the people in my life. I'm taking inventory on the items around me. I'm taking inventory on my habits, my goals, my perspectives. And I'm really, really learning that less is more in so many different ways. And that also goes to be in your feminine energy in a way. So if you're not familiar with like feminine and masculine energy, feminine is more of like the laid back, letting things come to you and letting things be natural and flowy, and in that sort of like I don't want to say laissez-faire, but in the just abundance mindset, versus the masculine energy can be very much like, think like Don Draper hustle grind culture. If you ever watched Mad Men, or think like, New York City Stock Exchange back in the 80s type of energy, that can be very, very masculine energy. And I'm not saying like, like be feminine, be masculine, like be whoever you want to be. That is, be somewhere in between. It's not black and white by any means. Be gray, purple, blue, whatever. Be in your masculine and feminine. But I really think that there is something to say about the yin and yang of it all, and about being able to kind of morph into different energies as you go along. So without getting to, like woo woo or losing the crowd here, I really realized that by taking a step back, it has allowed me to be so much more creative than I was before. And before, I quite literally was getting in such a rut because I was like creating content, trying to figure out Instagram videos, trying to figure out the algorithm. Like I was creating multiple videos a day because I heard that was good. And I did a little bit of research on it and stuff, but then I got so burnt out that I was like, I don't even know like what I'm trying to say here anymore. I know I'm trying to say like I want you to live your best life. I know I'm trying to say, health and wellness is a balance and that everything ebbs and flows and that you can be 80-20 in different aspects of your life. Like I know I'm trying to say those things, but the creativity just was not there, guys. And especially like even in between these trips, I think I maybe had like 6 or 7 days maximum in between each one of these trips that I have been on literally since May. Um, and all of that to say that in between, it was straight chaos. It was absolutely chaos. It's packing a bag to pack a different bag, to wash the clothes, to take them home again, to switch them out with a different outfit because you have to dress up fancy one day, or to grab your hiking shoes and make sure you wash them because, you're about to go run 5 miles at a time. It truly was a lot of chaos, and I was working my standard 9 to 5 throughout it all. So not to mention like I do have the ability to work remote and I freaking love that. So that was awesome that I got to take my laptop with me no matter where I was at, and I got to hop online, hop on meetings. Like it didn't affect my work in that way, but it did affect my work in the way of having to figure out time and figure out, okay, I know I need to leave by 4 p.m. to catch this flight. So that means I need to start working an hour earlier so I can make sure I have time to do all of the things by 4 p.m. Or make sure that I'm on this meeting at 1 p.m., even though I'm going to lunch with my grandma at 11. And it's those things that I wouldn't change for the world. I wouldn't change lunch with my grandma for anything. I wouldn't change, going on my best friend's bachelorette trip for anything. And I wouldn't change being there for my loved ones at all. Or, running and camping and being there with friends and family and having a great time and challenging myself mentally and physically. But it has been such a freaking balance. But it was just the shakeup that I needed. And I didn't realize it at the time. At the time, it was straight chaos. It was straight hecticness, if that's a word. It was just like honestly straight anarchy. Like if you've ever seen the movie Talladega Nights and they're running around, the kids are running around and they're like, anarchy, anarchy. I don't know what that means, but I love it. That was me, honestly. um, but every time I got to my next place and my next destination, I made sure that I was present where my feet are. So that's what I'm challenging you to do. All of that to say that if you can take 5 minutes away, if you can take an hour away, if you can take an evening away just by yourself and get out of your normal routine, watch your favorite movies and order a pizza or cook a really delicious dinner, or even just go on a date night with your spouse somewhere different that you've never ever been before, or take your kids somewhere new. It doesn't have to be paid if you don't have the most money right now. You can take them to a different park. You can drive, 30 minutes out of the way to go to a different ice cream shop. Things like that don't have to cost a ton of money, because I know, traveling isn't as feasible for everyone all the time. But those opportunities, make sure you hold on to them and make sure you're present in them, because that will allow you to come back to your regular life, quote unquote, so much more rejuvenated. And you'll be like, yeah, actually, I don't like this coffee cup anymore. Let me get rid of it. And just that simple act of getting rid of things, of stuff that doesn't light you up anymore, that changes your perspective. That changes your brainwaves. That says that I am living in an abundance mindset and I don't need to be in this scarcity zone anymore. I don't need to be in this scarcity zone of, actually, yeah, I've kind of outgrown this mug because it has like a funny saying on it that I once liked 7 years ago, but now I'm changing it. Now I'm getting rid of it. I'm blessing it and giving it to someone else that's going to get so much more use out of it. And then I'm knowing that I am growing and I'm moving forward in the right direction that I want to be in. Because if you're stuck and if you feel like, oh my gosh, maybe you're stuck in a job that you don't like, maybe you're stuck in a job that you thought would be better than your previous job and now it sucks, or maybe you're stuck in a relationship that no longer really fulfills you, or if it's in your health and wellness and you're like, dude, I do the same 20-minute walk every morning and I don't know what my problem is, but I can't lose weight. Maybe that's where you try the different recipes. Maybe that's where you try to do like a 20-minute walk and a 10-minute jog. Or maybe you do pick up a couple weights or try a Pilates class or a yoga class. You don't have to stick with it, guys. I know I talk about consistency and staying with your routine, and all of that has a time and a place. And I do agree that I have craved a routine also while being on the road, because I've been going to bed at different times. I've been waking up at different times. And I'm like, holy cow, please just let me get back to like going to bed at 9:30 and waking up at 6 o'clock and living my life. And I've started to do that ever since I've been back. I've taken a couple rest days because, running in the woods with like 3 hours of sleep takes it out of you. But overall, I really have still craved that routine, but it's that routine just energized and saying, I am so over, like, I don't know. I all of a sudden was over all of the little knickknacks on my shelf. And this to me makes me so much happier because it signals that I'm transforming, I'm growing. And you don't always have to be in this like motion, rolling type of life. You don't always have to be growing and learning. But I guarantee you that if you do challenge yourself with new things, and if you do embrace the learning and embrace the growth, and whatever happens tomorrow or next week or next month, it's going to make things a little bit more enjoyable. And you're going to build confidence along the way. Not to mention, like, if you tell yourself, like, okay, yes, I'm in this abundance mindset. I really don't like this mug anymore. I'm going to get rid of it and give it to Goodwill. And then if next time I see a mug in the store, I'm going to grab it that I like, because I'm not going to be like, oh, I already have 20 at home that are just so. But it's the simplest little things. And I'm saying that in a very materialistic aspect, but it's the movement of energy. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. And Marie Kondo, she was on to something. I'm just saying, like, if it doesn't spark joy, get rid of it. Same thing, like, if you look at a photo of yourself and you're like, you know what, that dress actually didn't look that great on me, get rid of it. Nobody is telling you to keep that. Even if you're like, okay, that's my one fancy dress and I need it once a year, make it a commitment to save up for the next fancy dress that you want next year. You can do it. Same thing with like recipes, like I said before, or your health regimen or your workout routine. You can make those minor, tiny changes and say, yeah, okay, I'm going to go on a different walk today. I'm going to go on a 25-minute walk today, or try a different path, or I'm going to walk to the coffee shop and get a different drink. And that rewires your brain. That tells you that, oh my gosh, there is so much more to experience in this life. And even if you're in a small town, I know it, baby. I know small towns, there are not a lot of variety going on. Sometimes you might only have one coffee shop to go to. You might only have a McDonald's down the street to visit as a restaurant. I get it. That's where you have to put in a little extra effort. Or you can get creative and you can start small. You can start with the stuff at home. You can start with calling up that person that really lights you up and you're like, hey, just wanted to catch up. Even if they don't answer and you just leave them a message or send them a text or leave them a voicemail, you're going to feel better. You're going to be like, yeah, I reached out. Hopefully they'll get back to me. If not, like, at least I'm cultivating that relationship that I love and that does light me up. And then same goes for vice versa. If there's something or someone in your life that you're like, I am not vibing with their energy one bit. Maybe they're negative. Maybe they, I don't know. It's like Chicken Little, like the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Like maybe that's their vibe 99% of the time. That's where you can limit the interactions. You don't have to spend time with them if you don't want to. You don't have to, cater to them and always expend energy on them and trying to figure out like what's wrong or maybe what you did wrong or what they might be going through. You're focusing that energy on someone else that you could be using to improve your life, to say, yeah, okay, I do want to lose that 20 pounds. Or, yeah, I do want to try new recipes just for the hell of it, for fun, because I enjoy making cupcakes or I enjoy making balsamic chicken. Or maybe you do want to start saving up for that vacation and you literally just start saving tabs on your computer or reading new books. Hell, even start reading new books. I started a couple new books while I was away. And that literally, like, just getting out of your own world changes. And that's what I'm challenging you. So, this was a unprompted episode because I've had stacks and stacks of episode topics that I've been collecting over the past few weeks. But this one was all about how to change your life, how to change your mindset, and how to get a fresh perspective. Because chances are there's something in your life that you're ready for a shakeup, you're ready for a change. Even if you hate change, guarantee you there's something in the back of your head that you're like, you know what? This actually could be a little bit different. And it could be as simple as the dish towel that you hate that has 47 stains. Get rid of it, baby. Get rid of that damn dish towel. Go to the dollar store, get you another one. Or get you some nice ones from Walmart. Treat yourself. Get you some nice ones from Target, the dollar spot up there. Love it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you're following us on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, and stay tuned because I will be also on the Living 757 show here in Hampton Roads. So I am recording next Tuesday, August 19th. I'm not sure when it's going to air yet. I don't know if it airs live or if it airs after. So stay tuned for details, but I'm going to be presenting on there. So I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. And I promise we are back. We are more creative than ever. And you will see more episodes very, very shortly. Thanks, guys. Bye.